All right. Hey, gang, Kaika here with a weekly crawl-space rock report. Still working on getting our filming schedule set up, myself and Matt Watson. But we're going to run this as it stands right now just because it's been so crazy here at the shop. And we just can't seem to nail down a good time. But we're going to keep rolling. We will hopefully get this video posted to YouTube if I can figure it out. So you can obviously check it out here and hopefully on YouTube as well. Big news, at least, was this past Sunday's Colorado Scale Comp Series was unfortunately blown out literally by pretty much high winds, probably around 35, 40 miles an hour winds down at Palmer Park. It was really nice in the morning, going to look like a gorgeous day, but as soon as the sun came up and we started getting thermals rolling, it was definitely rough for everybody. I want to thank everyone that came out and braved the wind. It was rough, guys. I really appreciate it. Everyone stuck it out as long as we could, made an executive decision after a Democratic vote to decide to call the day, but we will be making that up. At least the Class 2 courses will be made up on Sunday, January 26th. That's going to be the next Colorado Scale Comp Series. If you showed up on Sunday and you ran or didn't run but paid in, definitely come out to the January 22nd event. We're going to get it all sorted out and make sure you guys, one, get your time on the rocks, running the courses. Your points will be applied to the series, and make sure everyone has a good time. It was rough, guys. I spent 15 years in the construction field, and I've dealt with winds like that for months sometimes, and when you're working and getting paid for it, it's definitely a lot easier than trying to have fun with your buddies and play toy trucks. So we got past that, and everybody hopefully got home okay, and at least had a good time while we were out there until the winds got worse. Let's see. Yes, coming up in a couple weeks is going to be our RC Super Swap Meet here at the shop inside, so we don't have to deal with wind, don't have to deal with rain, snow, heat, or cold. It's inside here. That's going to be on Saturday, January 18th from 11 to 3. That is free for sellers and buyers. Sellers, if you plan to bring in any RC-related items, please check in with me day of at 10:30 so we can get you loaded in. Tables and bench space will be available for everyone on a first-come, first-served basis, so it'd be good. If you've got a ton of stuff, definitely bring at least a table for you for that. It's always a good turnout here in January for the RC Super Swap Meet. Depending on how that goes, we will determine if we're going to continue to do it biannually or just annually in January. Okay, you can find all that information on the Crawlspace website, crawlspaceco.com, and also here on Facebook. We'll be posting the flyers up as much as possible. What else we got here? Yes, Big Rock Move, as always, annually here at the Crawlspace. The beginning of every new year, we do a huge rock move where we move all the rocks, pull them all off the rock pile, and restack them, get it all set up, pull a bunch of new lines out, and find a bunch of spare parts, which is fun. Basically, what you find is what you keep if you come out to volunteer to help out with that. We're going to start it a day early this year as far as scheduling wise, so instead of doing it on Wednesday, we will be starting on Tuesday, January 28th to get the rock pile moved, just so we're not stressing out as far as getting almost 80 tons of rock moved. Volunteers are greatly appreciated. Your time and energy will be rewarded. So we got that big rock move. Yes, we got a new year, guys, so we are anxiously waiting to see what the vendors and manufacturers are going to be putting out for 2020. If you want to leave a comment on what you would like to see from specific vendors, just so we can talk about it. We're not going to diss out on what they've done. We're not going to diss out on if you don't like a truck. We want to hear positive ideas, and not necessarily assumptions, but just positive maybe clues or whatever to what we want to see coming out in 2020. It will be very cool to see, with this new year, we've had a ton of releases from Axial in the past year. I think they were almost dropping a truck at least every 2 to 3 months. I mean, they definitely stepped up It was funny to kind of look back on when Axial was bought out by Horizon, and everyone's kind of like, oh, you know, they're gonna let go of Axial, they're gonna sink the company, or they're gonna sink the brand, or whatever. It's just it's really, really cool to see when companies step up to take over in a good way, and then basically pump money into a brand, and that's what looks like what Horizon is doing. If some of you aren't familiar with what Horizon does with their aeronautics stuff, they practically put out a new plane every 2 or 3 weeks. The plane market is definitely interesting. I'm not going to lie, I know very little about it. A couple of friends of mine fly planes, own a plane store, things like that, or RC plane and helicopter store. Those guys are just running through new releases at least monthly from Horizon. I'm sure there's other companies as well that put out planes, but hopefully we will be seeing that more and more with our side of the hobby, RC crawling and scale RC. A lot of people are getting into the big rigs, 14 scale tractor trailers, which is really cool to see. It'd be interesting to see if any of our vendors, Axial, let's see, RC 4-wheel drive is doing that for sure. Element RC, see what is going to come about this year as far as releases, hopefully new platforms. Yes, everyone's going to have, people are going to have something to say about Axial releasing the SCX 10.2 platform with basically different bodies on it. But guess what, guys? That is more options for more new people to get into the hobby, and that is awesome, especially here at the shop, and myself as, I guess, a host, if you will, of events, seeing a ton of new people coming out with new trucks, having fun. They see a truck that, you know, like the Axial 55 Ford. My grandfather had one of those, or, you know, I remember my great-granddad or my uncle driving around in their old Ford pickup to go get ice cream or go do chores around the farm, and then they see it in a scale truck. That's awesome, and it immediately ignites just, you know, a drive, a passion, a desire to, you know, have that and then go have fun with it. And that's what's cool about all these new trucks coming out. And quite frankly, the SCX 10.2 platform has been around for over a decade, and I don't think it's ever going to stop. It will never stop. They did a hell of a job with the 10.2 and just releasing new bodies on the same platform. Yes, it'd be nice to see something new, but we've got the Capra, and we'll hopefully get to see more stuff coming out of Axial's wheelhouse, if you will, and looking forward to just more goodies here on the shelf. Let's see. That's the news, all I got. We're just going to cover January. February's coming right around the corner. Scale Nationals coming up in March, and a ton of big outdoor events throughout the country. We will be getting our outdoor event schedule together as soon as possible, probably towards the end of January. Myself and David and a few of the guys are going to sit down and also to hopefully see the SMT10 next week. And I believe Proline, the Traxxas tires are coming in as well. So once we get those in hand, we'll definitely check those out and do a quick review of those guys. So thanks for watching. Be sure to share this video. As always, keep learning, keep building, and keep pushing. Aloha.